But it seems funny to me that they're calling Donald Trump the king when the very man who acted like a king was Joe Biden. This is absolutely amazing to me because Donald Trump hasn't done anything to be, well, I'm a king, I'm a dictator. He hasn't done anything. He's doing exactly what he was voted in to do, verbatim. And I just saw a thing that said that his approval number is down to 38%. I'm like, who are they asking? Who? Because every one of my friends that are conservative, every one think Trump is doing an A+ job, as I do. I voted him in to get rid of the illegals, to get rid of the crime, to get rid of it. And that's exactly what he's doing. And the liberals are so unhinged, they're creating more crime while Donald Trump is getting rid of the crime. I will never be able to understand a liberal's thinking. I just cannot do that. So anyway, BuzzFeed puts out this piece, because they hate America. BuzzFeed does. And 31 hilarious signs from the No Kings March. So let's go ahead and let's get this started here. Let's see what's going on. So here's one right here, The Lying King, and it shows a picture of Donald Trump. That's hilarious. That's the funniest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm not exactly sure what he was lying about because I can't think of anything that he has lied about. Now, I could sit here and tell you all kinds of things that Joe Biden lied about. I mean, I could make a list. I could sit here for a day making a list. But what did Donald Trump lie about? That's what I want to know is what he lied about. So let's move on down to the rest of these. And I'm sure already on the first one, you're laughing so hard you cannot stand it. I'm sure. So let's go on to the second hilarious sign. You sucked in Home Alone 2. Because didn't Donald Trump have a very, very small role in that? And that's the best you can come up with? Really? Yeah, hilarious. My gut is busting. I'm laughing so hard. Let's move on to number 3 here. I accidentally got added to this protest by a Signal group chat. Yeah, that's shockingly funny. Way to go, BuzzFeed. Wow, just hilarious. Next one. This president is the nastiest skank bitch I ever met. Do not trust him. He's a fugly slut. That is hilarious. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Yes, BuzzFeed, congrats to you. This is absolutely, I'm about to piss myself. I'm laughing so hard at this. Number 5, the only orange man I support. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Can you see the laughter on my face? Because if you're laughing as hard as I am right now, then I don't know how you will continue to watch this video. Number 6, cleanup on aisle 47. Number 7, I prefer my ice crushed. So these are the very people, and if you notice the irony of this, the Statue of Liberty taking the torch and crushing some ice. And what ICE is doing is their job. They're getting rid of illegals. Because, like I said, you can't have a nation without sovereign borders. You simply cannot. And what the liberals, the illegals did was illegal. They come across our border illegally. And yet the liberals don't seem to mind the crime or the people getting killed or the people getting raped by the illegals or the cops getting, beaten by the illegals. They don't seem to mind that. All they mind is that we're getting rid of the criminals. Very strange. But that's hilarious, by the way. Hilarious. Number 8, if Melania doesn't have to live with him, why do we? Are you living in the White House? Number 9, Alexa, change the president. No kings. Maybe we should do a march. No liberals. If we do a no liberals march. Because this, I can promise you this. If we let California succeed from the country, which would be fine, nobody would miss them. They really don't make anything over there anymore. A lot of the tech companies have left. The airplane companies have left. Shit, do they even shoot movies in Hollywood anymore? I don't even know if they still do that in Hollywood. But if we took all the liberals in the United States and we piled them all in California, let California succeed, I promise you, two things would happen. America's crime rate would fall next to zero. California's crime rate, damn, I kind of sound like Elmer Fudd. California's crime rate would go to 100% the day that it happened. So no, we don't need to change the president, moron. We do need to change liberals. Number 10, this is a long one. I've got to kind of scroll through here. I want your Social Security. Yeah, well, you know what? They're not taking your Social Security. They're kicking off people who don't belong on Social Security. But when I retire, I'll get my Social Security. My wife will get hers. My sister will get hers. And my other sister will get hers when we retire. Isn't that amazing how that happens? What's amazing is the stupidity of liberals. That's what's amazing. Number 11, our expectations for you were low, but holy that's interesting. That is interesting because he's doing exactly what I voted for him to do, verbatim. I think he's doing a bang-up job. So your expectations for Trump were low. So you want higher taxes. You want an open border. You want illegals killing Americans. You want lawless cities running rampant with crime. That's what you want. Number 12, hey, MAGA, go fact yourself. See, now, again, this doesn't make any sense to me because I've gotten into countless arguments with liberals. And if you don't, just watch Charlie Kirk. Watch Charlie Kirk's show. Just watch his little thing on YouTube. Watch that. And every time he hits a liberal with a fact, what happens? Oh, they get mad. They get irate. They get beside themselves. And then they start screaming and cussing and everything else because that's what liberals do. And I've gotten into countless arguments with liberals. And as soon as I start hitting them with facts, they start calling me names, yelling, and everything like that. Because that's what liberals do. That's all they know. They know hatred and violence. That's it. So this is kind of a stupid message because we do go fact ourselves and we're always right. And amazingly, you're always wrong. Now, this is a liberal at its finest. No dictators. Yeah. And you can tell she's a liberal. Even with her face blurred out, you can tell she's a liberal. And the amazing thing is she's holding the American flag while she was while she was marching against the dictator burning American flags. And then she's going around waving her American flag. That's a liberal for you. A liberat. That's a liberat. Move on. Girl, hold my earrings. Okay. I've got a comment that I should make on this, but I'm not going to because it would probably be very inappropriate. So I'm going to let that one go. The only king I recognize, and I got to be honest, I don't know what the hell this is. I couldn't even guess. If somebody knows what this is, let me know because I'm clueless. I do not know what it is. But see, I don't recognize any kings because we have no kings in America. And I'll get back to that one in a second. God forbid a girl wants liberty and justice for all. That's rich. That is rich. What about the girls that play sports that want liberty and justice for all? What about them that are losing their scholarships and their gold medals to men that you support? What about them? Do they not count? Or the girls that have to stand in the dressing room looking at a dude standing in there bone naked, aroused. How many stories have we heard about that? Looking at all the young naked girls. But they don't get liberty and justice for all, right? They don't get it. And this is what I'm talking about. Liberals are 1,000% hypocrites. Everything they do is hypocritical. And this is a prime example. And as long as you're holding up a sign, God forbid a girl wants liberty and justice, what's a woman? I was just watching the Senate hearings, congressional hearings, where they got the four of the worst governors in America sitting in there. They got Hochul, Tampon Tim, Fitzer, and I can't remember who the other clown is. And I'm going to tell you right now, Tim Walz is a Chinese asset. That's obvious. The guy's a Chinese asset. It's obvious he's paid for by the Chinese. It's obvious that he's been targeted by the Chinese. I mean, come on, everybody, if you have half a brain, you know this. How this guy's a governor is beyond me. And hopefully when he loses his governorship, that's the last we see of Tampon Tim. But he was, in there because his city's burning down, because he supports illegals and he supports men playing in women's sports and, all the stuff that's causing the Democrats to absolutely die. Tim Walz supports. And I think it was Nancy Mace. I love Nancy Mace, man. She goes after him. And at the end of her question, she just asked him, was it Nancy? Yeah, Nancy Mace. What is a woman? That moron said, I don't understand the question. That's how stupid Tim Walz is. She simply could have asked him, what is 2 + 2? And he would have said, I don't understand the question. Can you please repeat that? Because Tim Walz has got to be one of the dumbest people in the world. And it's amazing during those hearings that they, a little off topic here, but they start talking about a stolen valor. And he comes out, well, I was misquoted. I made a mistake. No, you didn't. You said that. It was written down exactly what you said. You just thought nobody would ever check. You lying shit. You thought nobody would ever check. And they did. They did. You probably should have just kept your mouth shut, Timmy Walz. And then you said you're at Tiananmen Square. Well, you visited Tiananmen Square. You were not at Tiananmen Square. The guy's just a liar. Number 17, Trump exhibits multiple psychoses. Trump underpants reek discernibly. So I can't see what the first one says. Temp turd? Who knows? I don't know. Number 18, it does not say RSVP on the Statue of Liberty. Nor does it say, let your illegals come over here and rape and murder our women and children. Is that on the other side of that sign? I'm kind of curious. If I flip that sign over, does it say that? No, it doesn't, because you don't care about them because they're collateral damage to your idiotic cause. And it was pretty funny. I was just watching this thing on YouTube, and they were talking about this very thing. And they were going up to people in, I believe, San Diego, and they said, hey, do you support the illegals being here? Absolutely. Well, we got a petition. Will you please sign it? They signed the petition, and the guy goes, come on in. And a bunch of Mexicans charged her house, and she's like, what are you doing? He said, well, you signed a petition for them to live here. That's what you signed. So they're going to come, and they're going to live here with you. And she said, oh, hell no, they're not, and slammed the door. They're hypocrites. They're all hypocrites. But it kind of shows you how stupid they are, because if somebody walked up and said, hey, if you sign this petition for illegals to live here, I'm going to be like, do you mean here in my house or here in America? She didn't. She's just like, sure, I'll sign it. And it was to live here in her house. Then, of course, as soon as she heard that, boy, she slammed the door in her face and said, oh, hell no, get off my property. Because they're liberals. They're all hypocrites. Number 19, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious sexist Nazi POTUS. Okay, I don't remember anything Donald Trump has done that is racist. But I do remember Joe Biden trying to keep black people from going to white schools. I remember that. I don't remember anything Donald Trump has done that is racist. But I do remember Democrats torturing, belittling Jewish people, harassing them endlessly. College campuses condoning it. I remember that. And they say sexist Nazi. What, do we need to return to 1939 Nuremberg? Because what was going on over there? Because what was going on over there is the Nazis were being persecuted like the liberals are doing today to Nazis in America. And they call us the Nazis? We're not the ones beating on Jews. We're not the ones that are keeping them captive, locking them in buildings. It's the Democrats. Let me rephrase that. It's the unhinged liberats. So this shows again the hypocrisy of the left. Absolutely amazing, Nate. Number 20, there is only one king in this country, and his name is LeBron. And that sounds about right. That is a perfect message because the only true king is God. He's the only true king. Now, I know you liberals don't believe in God, and just like you don't believe children should be children. And was it, California 2-3 years ago that was trying to get the age of consent lowered down to 12 years old? That's pretty disgusting. That is pretty disgusting. But the only God in my world, the only king in my world is God. That's it. LeBron's not a king. LeBron is a racist. The one thing you all claim to hate, you support in LeBron. He hates white people. He absolutely hates white people. The guy is so racist. And again, hypocrisy of the left, man. Absolutely amazing how hypocritical these people are. And they're sitting here on a No Kings March saying that LeBron is a king. In what world does any of this make sense to anybody? Stop trying to make king happen. It isn't going to happen. That's hilarious. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Way to go, BuzzFeed. Okay, which one are we on? We're on 22. Stop making me agree with Gavin. So you're saying that you are an idiot. Because if you agree with Gavin, then you're pretty much an idiot. But that's hilarious. That's hilarious. If Taylor got her master's back, we can take our country back. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. That is shockingly funny. 24, no kings, only gritty. Oh my God. 25, no faux king, way. Yeah, hilarious. I'd like that taco to go, please. Taco, is that the name of your boyfriend, dude? Because you snack on him at night? That's the only thing I can think of. Taco, that's got to be the name of your boyfriend, the nickname you gave him. Because, you know, when y'all are alone at night, the lights are down, you got the Chuck Mangione playing in the background. Little bottle of Walmart champagne, hanging out in your trailer park. Then all of a sudden your boyfriend Taco walks in. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what you mean. 27, and nobody is eating the dogs. And I feel sorry for the dog. Because look at the dog. The dog's sitting here like, fuck. I can't believe this son of a bitch brought me down here. I cannot believe that. This is so embarrassing. I'm standing around with these liberals, all these fat liberal white women with their blue hair. These people haven't bathed in years. They all stink. And you've got me sitting here with this stupid shirt on that I can't take off because I don't have any damn thumbs. I feel sorry for the dog. Oh, my God. 28. I drink my horchata warm because ice. Hilarious. Oh, my God. This is so funny. 29. And yes, the misery is about over. Maybe this thing was a masterpiece till you tore it all up. Talking about Joe Biden? Till he tore it up. Because, idiot, we're conservatives, all right? We believe in our Constitution, in our Bill of Rights, the one thing you all seem to have forgotten about. We believe in our country, the one thing you've forgotten about. We believe in our sovereign borders, the one thing you have forgotten about. We believe if you do a crime, you go to prison. The one thing you all have forgotten about. That's what we believe. All right? We believe criminals need to go to jail, not get passes and get let back out the next day, like Kathy Hochul likes to do up in New York. He only beat his wife, so let's just go ahead and let him out. Then he turns around and kills her. Then she blames the police department for it. And it was her office that let the guy out of jail. Unbelievable. Amazing. Hypocrite, hypocrite, hypocrite. Number 30, a birthday celebration fit for a king. Sad little baby. Why I want attention. Save those comments for the end of this. We got one to go, all right? These are the funniest signs from the No King's March. 31, if there's money for a parade, there's money for Medicaid. Well, the only people losing their Medicaid are people that don't deserve Medicaid. The elderly are still going to get their Medicaid. The sick, the people who are, that have to have it because they're not able-bodied, are still going to get their Medicaid. The people who are going to get knocked off are people who are able-bodied, people who should be out doing something else besides soaking our Medicaid and our Social Security. But amazingly, that is so hard for you liberals to understand, and it's called the truth. It's the truth. Something you all just cannot wrap your head around. And I want them off Social Security and Medicaid because I want to make sure that I'm eligible to get it. Me and my wife, we've worked our entire lives. I want to make sure that we're eligible to get it when we retire because a bunch of illegals and a bunch of people who don't deserve it are not soaking it dry. All right? How hard is that for you to understand? Because what we could do is leave all these people on it that do not deserve it. Then when you get ready to retire, Mr. Liberal, we can say, oh, sorry, your portion's gone. We gave it to Joe Bob the illegal. Then you're going to whine and cry and bitch about that. Well, why did you give it to him? Because you supported it. That's why. Absolutely amazing to me how these people think. Absolutely amazing. And like I said, these people are some of the biggest hypocrites in the world. I have never seen anything like what the liberals are doing right now